Welcome everyone. A cell of EMF E is connected across an external resistance capital R when the current I is drawn from the cell. The potential difference across the electrodes of the cell drops to V. The internal resistance R of the cell is, which is you have to find it out, four options are given: E minus V by E into R, E minus V divided by R, E minus V divided by I into R, and E minus V divided by V into R. Before knowing this, we basically need to know what the EMF of the cell is and how the electrolytic cells are basically composed of. For that, we need to move to the next page. Let us consider an ideal electrolytic cell, which you have a positive electrode and a negative electrode, and the EMF is E. How it is basically constructed? If it is an electrolytic cell, basically there should be a container, and this container should containing the electrolytic solution just as shown in the figure. Let me draw. So these are the, we can say there are two electrodes, and one of the electrode is positive, another electrode is negative. And through the electrolytic solutions, basically the charge carriers, maybe the free electrons or the molecular ions, basically passes through, and due to this it is facing the several collisions, and we can say resistances, and that is basically we can say the internal resistances, and this internal resistance is denoted by the small r, and you cannot divide of this small r, you cannot exclude this r. It is just like simply you're buying a mobile phone of 256 GB and some system software is loaded there, and you cannot exclude that software, it is already inbuilt, so you cannot divide of that. As long as we have to think of a usable cell, practical cell, we have to the internal resistance is always included in it. And if I try to draw this, then obviously then this internal resistance will be in parallel with it. So let us draw this. So a simple cell, electrolytic cell, and an internal resistance smaller is in series with it. So as a whole we can say this is electrolytic cell. So this is the package of cell, and we can say that is the usable one, and what we have drawn before that, that is the ideal one. So now if I try to connect an external resistance with it, then how it look like? Obviously it should be look like this as we have drawn in the figure. Cell, internal resistance in series, EMF E, and the external resistance which is in connected like this way, and this thing basically we can take it as a package, and we can say this is the set is the cell, and this basically gives you the potential drop across the two electrodes of the cell, and that is V, that is the potential drop across the two electrodes. And now if I connect an external resistance capital R, obviously like this way, then we can say that if the current which is coming out from the cell should pass through this external resistance, and after that it also enters through the internal resistance, and it just again enters to the negative terminal of the battery, and here we can say the smaller and capital R is in series combination. Now if I want to find it out what is the potential drop across this external resistance, and that is obviously capital I into R according to the Ohm's law. And now obviously we can say this IR is equal to the potential drop across the two ends of the electrolytic cell, and that is V equal to, we can say, IR. So but this V, that is the potential drop across this external resistance, is the subtraction of, or we can say the E minus IR is the EMF of the cell, IR is the potential drop across the internal resistance. You cannot get this potential drop. We can say this is a loss volt of the cell, and which you cannot use. Just like you have buy a battery of 6 volt, you cannot get the 6 volt. You always get the 5.4 volt or 5.6 volt. This 0.6 volt or 0.4 volt, you cannot use it in the external circuit for your purpose. So usable cell obviously always some less than that of it. Let us write down this equation. V equal to E minus of I into R. So very simply, IR equal to E minus V. So we have to find out the small r. So small r equal to E minus V divided by I. So I can see this thing does not matches with any of the options. So let us do some mathematical technique, and if I multiply the numerator by the capital R, that is external resistance, and the denominator also, then how it should look like. Let us do it. Okay, just see this I into R. It is nothing but the V, that is the potential drop across the two end of the cell. Okay, so E minus V by I is not matched the option, but this thing V equal to IR is basically what is the potential drop across the external resistance, potential drop across the electrolytic cell. We can use it. So if I use it, simply the denominator becomes V. So E minus V multiplied by R divided by V, and my option D is the correct answer here. Thank you all of you.